Hello, welcome to WABJ News, where high school students report the news. I'm Chiamaka Ogwebu. And this is our special In Focus edition, where our team of student reporters takes a closer look at what's going on in their community. We begin with the story in one of the oldest institutions in D.C., the Black Church. WABJ News reporter Jasmine Royster tells us about a D.C. church that's long been an historic icon, but has recently run into troubled times. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Chiamaka, and hello, everyone. I'm Jasmine Royster, a senior at Charles Herbert Flowers High School. My story is on DC's famous Metropolitan Baptist Church, which has been around for more than 100 years, but is now fighting foreclosure. I was interested in this story because I have family members who attend the church and wanted to know more about the situation. For more than a century, Metropolitan Baptist Church was a D.C. landmark. The church was founded by freed slaves just 1 year after slavery ended. From these small beginnings, the church grew into a modern megachurch, attracting more than 6,000 people each Sunday at its peak, including political figures such as former President Bill Clinton.
It was a great church. It was a place that I found that I was comfortable in. I made a lot of friends there. I still have lifetime friends that I made at Metropolitan.
But in recent years, the church has declined in both membership and money. In 2000, the church planned to move from Northwest D.C. to Largo, Maryland to gain more space. But during the process of building the new facility, the church lost 70% of its congregation and began losing money. The unfinished church is now in foreclosure and services are being held in a high school auditorium. Membership has dropped from 6,000 to 2,000.
If I had my way, I probably would have written this scenario a little bit differently.
After 40 years, Pastor Hicks has recently announced his plans to retire. The church still needs $30 million to save the unfinished building. Despite these challenges, the members still have faith that the church will survive. I'm Jasmine Royster, WABJ News.
Thanks, Jasmine. Now, this is a very scary situation. What's being done to try and save this church?
Well, recently they celebrated their 150th anniversary with a concert featuring gospel artists Richard Smallwood and Jonathan Nelson. All the more reason why the church is eager to open their new doors. They hope events like this bring more attention to their needs.
Thanks, Jasmine. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Speaking of events, as you know, one of the most memorable nights for a high school student is the prom. But a lot goes on before the big night. You may not know how much elaborate planning goes into just asking someone to the prom nowadays. So WABJ's Jeremy Davis is here to school us on promposals. Hi, Jeremy.
That's right, Chiamaka. Hello, my name is Jeremy Davis, and I am a proud senior at Bishop McNamara High School. And my story is on the recent trend of over-the-top prom proposals known as promposals. Asking someone to a school dance has traditionally been filled with anxiety and awkwardness. Nowadays, asking someone is similar to a competitive sport. It requires creativity with the hope of being crowned with a yes. Promposals. Awkward phone calls and flowers just aren't enough anymore. Today, asking someone to prom has become an event that rivals even the most elaborate marriage proposals.
Before you leave, Bijan, can we have you back to the center of the dance floor? We have a special message for you. Davon would like to know if you will go to the prom with him.
In the old days, asking someone to prom was simple and sweet.
Hey baby, will you go with me to prom, or will you be my sugar wooger at the prom?
However, in today's society, an acceptable prom invitation has to be over the top and social media worthy. Has it gone too far?
I actually like prom proposals. I think that it brings excitement, it makes it special for, the girl or guy you ask.
Take, for example, this senior who thought it would be prom perfect to ask his girlfriend by surprising her at the airport. Or this proposal that shut down an entire school hallway at Bishop McNamara High School.
people are going to like too much extremes to ask somebody to prom. I think now it's become more of like a show and who can outdo who.
Following the hallway production, school officials banned promposals for what they say are safety reasons.
McNamara did not ban promposals. McNamara has asked students to limit their promposals because a lot of them started causing safety issues.
Promposals continue with great caution. I'm Jeremy Davis, WABJ News. Safety has now become a concern regarding prom proposals following a recent stabbing in Connecticut of student Marin Sanchez after saying no to a prom proposal.
That's a very tragic story. Now, of course, we don't want any violence, but when it comes to promposals, how much is too much?
I feel that if you know, you just ask the person a simple way like flowers or a card, and you just remember that's your last high school dance, and that's all enough for a promposal.
Thanks, Jeremy.
You're welcome, Chiamaka.
Back in D.C., our hometown football team, the Redskins, continues rebuilding. But another hot-button issue is igniting controversy around the team: their name. WABJ reporter Kobe Barnes has the story.
Since 1932, Washington area football team has been known as the Redskins. But with recent controversy surrounding the name, which some people consider to be a racial slur towards Native Americans, that tradition may be in jeopardy.
But it's unacceptable that in this time, in the 21st century, a team would continue to use a racist slur over the objections by those people offended by it and victimized by it.
While others see it as a time for change, some fans think the name should stay.
No, I don't think the Redskins should change the name because they won Super Bowls with that name, so don't change it.
Owner Daniel Snyder has been adamant about the name staying the same by saying, "We will never change the name. It's that simple. Never. You can use caps." The controversy has spread from celebrities.
Whenever I would talk, I made a conscious effort. I simply called them Washington.
Sports analysts and former Redskins players like Darryl Green and Art Monk.
If the Native Americans feel like Redskins or the Chiefs or what other name is offensive to them, then who are we to say, no, it's not?
Even the president has weighed in on the matter.
Native Americans feel pretty strongly about it, and I don't know whether our attachment to a particular name should override the real legitimate concerns that people have.
Although owner Daniel Snyder has intentions of keeping the name, fans and Native Americans don't plan to let up their efforts.
Yes, I think they should change the name because it would be a new start for the Redskins. And not only that, but Native Americans won't find themselves upset.
My children are right there. They are right there. They don't want to be called names when they go to school. They don't want to be called names when they go to college. They don't want to be called names on the streets. We are indigenous. That's what we want to be.
Kobe Barnes, WABJ News.
Such a controversial issue. With owner Dan Snyder still standing firm on his decision to keep the name, controversy will no doubt continue. Take a ride through DC and you'll see it everywhere: the increasing number of bicycles and cyclists. WABJ reporter Connor Gallant shows us how it's gone way beyond sports riders and tourists to a serious mode of city transportation.
Thank you. My name is Connor Gallant, and I'm a sophomore at Appleton High School in Columbia. I'm here to tell you about the use of bicycles in DC as a means of urban transportation. I chose this story because I'm what some would call a tree hugger, and I wanted to remind the viewers of a growing, efficient alternative to driving a car. So for all of you looking for a way to get some exercise on the way to work or school, while saving money and lowering your carbon footprint, here's a story for you. Since the year 2000, bicycling as a method of transportation has nearly doubled in DC. But exactly why is it that more Washingtonians are willing to ditch their car for a bike?
It was a way to get around a lot easier than walking places.
He's right. According to the most recent study done by AAA, the average cost of owning and maintaining a car is about 61 cents per mile. That stacks up to more than $9,000 per year. This compares to the cost of owning a bike, which typically includes only the price of the bike itself, and protective gear with the occasional bike repair fee. DC is the 6th most bike-friendly city in the U.S., according to the neighborhood rating website WalkScore. However, not everyone agrees.
Sometimes some traffic stops aren't working and stuff, and cars, some places cars are running, so it's not safe.
In 2013, the district had 56 miles of marked bike lanes, mostly located in the center of the city. So in other areas, cyclists are forced to ride in traffic. The city is making efforts to become more bike-friendly, with new bike lane projects popping up. The District Department of Transportation plans to install 14 miles of new bike lanes by the year's end. But since DC still isn't exactly a biking mecca, this cyclist gives us one last word of advice.
Don't be crowd-headed, basically.
I'm Connor Gallant, WABJ News.
One of the latest innovations is the installation of bike traffic signals, so bicyclists have their own stoplights to help navigate through DC. Back to you, Chimaka.
One sure sign of spring in DC is tourists and cherry blossoms, and the annual Cherry Blossom Festival. Along with the parade watching, there was one group that caught special attention. What interested me in this group was their remarkable success in the past few years. So when I heard that they'd be performing in the festival, I had to check it out. Here's the story of them Raider boys from Eleanor Roosevelt High School.
One of the hottest performances during this year's Cherry Blossom Parade? A local step group from Greenbelt, Maryland. Dem Raider Boys, or DRB as they're known, is the male step squad of Eleanor Roosevelt High School, and is one of the DC area's premier step squads. DRB was selected to perform in this year's parade in partnership with nationally known group Step Africa.
Step Africa uses STEP as a tool to promote education and teamwork among young people. Step Africa also tours the country, performing in many theaters and colleges.
Step Africa is one of the only professional step organizations anywhere, and they actually, one of our alumni is a member of it, and back in September they were looking for step teams from the DMV to participate in their step explosion. So through our alumni, he got us in contact with them, and we came and performed for them, and they were thoroughly impressed with our performance, and since then they've asked us to do other shows with them.
But success and moves like this don't come without a lot of work. Richard Melvin is the longtime coach of DRB, which usually performs in competition. However, members have begun to enjoy their role as entertainers.
At the Cherry Blossom Festival, it was like we're trying to we're on national TV, so we have to be good still and do our best, still. But it's also like a lot of fun because we're not under the pressure of we have to win, we have to make sure everything's perfect. We just went out there, stepped, had fun, enjoyed it.
DRB has amassed an impressive competition record in recent years. The group's been undefeated for the past 3 years, and in the last 5 has only lost a single event where they came in second place.
I always tell them to make sure that every performance we do is better than the last. So not just every competition needs to be better than the last. Every year needs to be better than the last year. So they really definitely strive to beat out what the alumni did before them.
I'm Chiamako Gwebu, WABJ News.
That's it for us. Thanks for joining us for this special In Focus edition of WABJ News. I'm Chiamako Gwebu. Goodbye from the WABJ News team.